I hope you like crafting these holiday themed bead ornaments, because here's another just as planned. In this video, I'm going to teach you how to make your very own bead snowman. So hopefully this tutorial will fulfill your creative needs. Feel free to give this video a like and enjoy this episode of TurboBeads. Here's the list of everything you need to make the beaded snowman. Let's start out by taking our string, matching up the ends, and making a loop on the other end of the string. Now, you will take your two matched ends of string and run those around the loop, creating a second loop, a much larger one. You'll run those matched ends of string through that second loop, pulling the string tight until you've created a knot. Continue pushing the knot towards the top of the string until the loop size is just right. This will give us two ends of string to use for our beads to create the pattern of the snowman. This is what your knot should look like so far. Now that we have two ends of string to use, it's time to start creating rows. Let's start by taking one end of the string and adding one white bead to that string. Now, you'll take your other end of string and run it through that bead as well, going in the opposite direction, pulling both ends of the string until you've reached the top. Creating the second row is just as simple as the first row. You'll take one end of the string, but this time we're going to add two red beads to that string. Once you have those beads on the string, we're going to take our other end of string, run it through all of those beads as well, going in the opposite direction, pulling both ends of the string until we reach the top. Continue repeating these same steps when creating additional rows. Adding your beads to one end of the string, taking your other end of string, running it through all of those beads as well, going in the opposite direction, and pulling both ends of the string until you've reached the top. So just repeat these steps, follow the pattern, and create additional rows. As you can see, these first few rows should feel pretty similar with its repetitive steps and simplicity, which is exactly like making a bead Santa hat. If you haven't seen that tutorial yet, be sure to go check it out as well. The sixth row will have a total of 5 beads, alternating the black and white beads to make up the eyes of the snowman. If you are struggling to keep the row straight, you can use a toothpick by running the stick through the row of beads. This will definitely keep the beads tight and in formation. Just be sure to break off the end of the toothpick to keep the stick from showing to the sides. After you finish breaking off the ends of the stick, you'll go back to using both ends of the string again and creating additional rows. Once you finish the 7th row, you should see the face of the snowman. The 8th row will be the start of the scarf, which I've used colors green and red for. Let me know what colors you decide to use. Don't forget, you can always use a toothpick to keep the rows straight. Now that we've finished the 8th row, we'll take one end of the string and add 4 beads to that string, of course sticking with that same color pattern as we did with the 8th row. When you have those beads on the string, you'll run them to the top. Using that same end of string, we're going to run that string back through the first 3 beads added to the string, with the string going in the direction toward the pattern. Just watch closely as I guide the string through these beads. Once you have that string through those beads, be sure that your beads are set in place. Hold those 3 beads down in place, pull the string all the way through until the beads come together to create one end of the scarf. This is how it should look so far. Let's do the same thing once again to create another end of the scarf. Using that same end of string, we're adding 4 beads to the string, sticking with that green and red color scheme. Now that we have the beads on the string, you'll run them to the top. As we did before, using that same end of string, we're going to run that string back through the first 3 beads added to the string, with the string going in the direction toward the pattern. Again, watch closely as I guide the string through these beads. Once you have that string through those beads, as we did before, be sure that your beads are set in place. Hold the 3 beads down in place, pull the string until the beads come together, forming the other end of the scarf. This is exactly how everything should look. With the scarf finished, we will go back to using both ends of the strings again and creating additional rows. When you finish the 9th row and pull it nice and tight, it should automatically straighten itself out and close the gap in between the beads that make up the scarf. The 10th row is as simple as the others, with a single black bead in the middle to make up a button. Don't forget, you can always use a toothpick in between any of these rows. Once you finish the 12th and final row, you will tie off each end of string with a knot that is tied nice and tight to keep all the beads locked in place. As you can see, tying the knot should be pretty easy. Just be sure to tie your knots on both ends with knots that are solid and secure, ensuring that everything stays together. With this visual reference, watching how the knot is tied will make things more simple and easy to understand. As tying your knots may seem difficult for the first time, but with practice and patience, these knots will become easier over time. Once your knots are tied, carefully cut off the tied loose ends of string, and your bead snowman is now complete. And there you have it, another fine bead design that was fast, fun, and easy to make. Hopefully this tutorial was helpful, and you can create one just as great. If there's anything you'd like to add, requests, or suggestions, don't be afraid to leave a comment below. And if you are new, or you just haven't already, you can always subscribe if you want to be notified for more bead tutorials just like this one. Hoping you'll tune in for the next one and fulfill your creative needs. Until next time, thanks for watching TurboBeads.